Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I think you are very well by the grace of Allah. Today I will take class on transformation of sentences. In class 12, today we will practice how to sense degree of adjectives such as positive, comparative and superlative degree of adjective. Okay. So I think that you have got ideas about degree of adjectives. You have practiced a lot, but in sentence, how will you change them from superlative degree to comparative degree and comparative to superlative? Like that, superlative to positive degree and positive to superlative and vice versa. Okay, so we may practice them. So the first rule, this is the first rule. Please, you should follow the board, follow the chart. Positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. So at first we should try to understand superlative degree, then we will come to comparative degree and then positive degree. Superlative degree, before superlative degree there should be the or one of the. If there is the in superlative degree, before superlative, after subject and verb, if there is article the before superlative, you should use then any other in comparative degree after comparative form of the adjective. After comparative form of the adjective, you should use then any other. Okay, and you should use no other in positive degree and then extension and then verb, and you should use so or as, and then you should use the positive degree of the adjective, and then you should use as, and you should take the subject at last. Okay. So in this way you should able to change them. So from example we may learn, here's the example of superlative degree. He is the best boy in our class. So he is subject, the is used before the superlative degree of the adjective. Before the adjective, the is used here. So if you want to change it into comparative degree, so you should use subject and verb at first, and that time you should not use the, you should avoid the, and you should use the comparative form of the superlative degree. So we might take the example, he is the best, you should use he is better. You should avoid the, and you should use the comparative form of the superlative adjective. Okay. So then after the comparative form of the adjective, you should use then any other or then all other. Okay, then any other or then all other. So you should use then any other, it should be suitable. Any other, if the noun is singular, you should use any other. If the noun is plural, you should use then all other, like this. Okay, and then extension of the sentences. Understand? So it's very easy. And if you want to change comparative degree to superlative degree, so you should use subject and verb, then you should use article the before the superlative form, and then you should avoid then any other, and you should use the extension part. It's very easy. Okay, so if you want to change it into positive degree, that time you should use no other at first. You should use no other at first, and you should use the extension of the sentence. You should use extension of the sentences, boy in the class, and then you should use the verb according to the subject. It should be singular, and then you should use as or so, and then positive form of the adjective. Positive form of the adjective. Okay, positive form of the adjective. Good is the positive form of the adjective best and better. Okay, then you should use as, and you should use the subject. Okay. It would be very easy to you. So let's practice. Milan is the tallest. Milan is the tallest boy. In our team. That is the tallest boy in our team. So subject is Mizan, verb is, and then the plus superlative of the adjective. So here is the plus superlative. So if you want to send it into comparative form, that time you should use at first subject Mizan is. You should not use the. You should use the comparative form. You should use the comparative form of the superlative degree. Taller. We know that taller is the comparative form of the degree tallest. Okay. Now you should write down than any other. We know that if there is the in superlative degree, you should use then any other in comparative degree. Okay. Then extension part. Boy in our team. Okay. It's very easy and simple. You know that. So if you want to change it into positive degree, that time you should use no other at first. No other. Sorry. No other. Then you should use the extension. You should use the extension. No other boy in our team. In our team. You should use the extension part here. Then you should use the verb is. According it should be singular. Okay. Is. Then you should use as or so, as tall. Positive form of the superlative degree or comparative degree. As tall as Mizan. Okay. In this way, you must sense it. So we have practiced rule number 1. Now we will go to rule number 2. You should practice rule number 2. Okay, my dear students, we will practice next rule. If there is one of the in superlative sentence, superlative degree, before superlative degree, if you have found one of the before superlative degree, that time you should use then most other or many other in comparative degree. Okay, most other or many other. Then you should use very few in positive degree. So let's practice. He is one of the most intelligent students in our college. So one of the is used before superlative degree. Intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent. Most intelligent is most is the superlative form. So before superlative degree there is one of the. So you should use then most other or many other after comparative degree. So like that you should use at first subject and verb. Subject and verb. He is. Then you should use the comparative degree. Comparative degree. So more intelligent. More intelligent is the comparative degree, and then you should use then most other. Then most other, and you should use then the extension. Extension. Students in our college. Okay. So if you want to change it into comparative to superlative, that time you should use subject plus verb. Use one of the before the superlative degree. Okay, and you should use then most other or many other after comparative degree. Okay, like this. These are the difference between comparative and superlative. Now, if you want to change it into positive degree, what will you do then? You should use very few, like this structure. You should use at first very few, and then you should use the extension very few students in our college. Very few students in our college. Then you should use the verb plural form. PL that means plural. PL means plural. So you should use plural of the verb, and then you should use as or so, and then you should use the positive form of the degree. So positive degree. So you know that intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent. So here you should use intelligent, and then you should use as again. In this way, you will be able to sense degree easily. Understand? Now we'll practice the next one. Next rule. Between two things, this degree will happen to things comparative and positive degree. So if you have found comparative degree using only than, like the example, Mita is taller than Rita. Mita is taller than Rita. There are two subjects, Mita and Rita. After then, you know that this is subject because the verb is silent here. After Rita, there is a verb is, and it is silent there. Okay. So here is used first subject Mita, verb is, and comparative form taller, the conjunction then, and the second subject Rita. So if you want to change it into positive degree, that time you should use negative form. At first you should use the second subject. Second subject, who is second subject? Rita. Rita is second subject. You should use second subject first, and that time you should use the verb, and then you should use not. If the if the sentence is in affirmative form, you should use negative form. Okay. Then you should use so or as. Then the positive degree of the positive form of the comparative degree, and then as, and first subject. First subject means Mita. Understand? In this way, you should be able to sense them. Okay, you should be careful about them. Another example, if the sentence is in negative form, it should be positive form. And if the sentence is positive form, it should be negative form. Okay, so what would be the example? Abir is not more active than Manik. Abir is not more active than Manik. So it's negative. It's negative sentence, and after the comparative degree then is used. So you should use second subject. This is first subject, and Midan is Manik is second subject. So you should use second subject first, Manik. So Manik is, you should not use not. So you should not use negative things. Okay. So Manik is as, you should use the positive degree here. What more active is comparative degree, and active is positive degree. So Manik is as active as Abhi. Okay. In this way, you will able to sense degree of adjective in easy way. So we'll practice some more examples using the board. So you should try to connect with me. Okay. So if I write down, Kajol is the smallest girl in our family. In our family, what would be the comparative degree? So you should use subject and verb first, Kajol. Then you should use the verb, and then you should use comparative degree, smaller. You should use comparative degree, smaller, and then you should use then any other. Then any other guard. You should use guard. In our family. Okay, so you should practice them. And if you want to change it positive degree, no other girl in our family is so small as Kajol. Okay, like this you should use the rules and you should practice them at your home. Okay, so you know that in Bengali I may explain দাদুত্ব সুপারলেটিভকে কম্পারেটিভ করতে কি ব্যবহার করা হবে দেন এনি আদার দাদুত্ব সুপারলেটিভকে পজিটিভ করতে কি ব্যবহার করা হবে নো আদার আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড সো you should try to understand in this way after no other you should use extension after no other you should use extension দা কোথায় বসবে সুপারলেটিভের আগে বসবে দেন এনি আদার কোথায় বসবে কম্পারেটিভের পরে বসবে নো আদার কোথায় বসবে বাক্যের শুরুতে বসবে এইভাবে কি করতে হবে মুখস্থ করে ফেলতে হবে ওকে সো উইল প্র্যাকটিস another example Shojib is one of the most famous persons. You should use the plural form of the noun persons in our village. In the village. In the village. Shojib is one of the most famous persons in the village. So most famous is the superlative form and one of the is used before superlative form. So what will you do in comparative form? At first you should write down subject and verb. Shojib is. Then you should write down the comparative form of the superlative degree. So most famous you should write down more famous. Then you should use then most other or many other after comparative degree. Most other persons in the village. Understand? In this way, you will practice. In this way, you will able to practice. Understand? So, now, if you want to change it into positive degree, that time you should write down very few because this is one of the before superlative. If you want to change it into positive degree, you should use very few. If you want to change comparative degree to positive degree, you should write down very few. Okay, because there is then most other after comparative degree. Okay, so you should write down very few and then extension part. Which one is the extension part? Persons in the village. Persons in the village. You should write down it first. Okay, so very few persons in the village. In the village, here you should use are because person is plural form. In the village are as famous. Positive degree of most famous is should be famous. as shazid. Okay? In this way, you may easily sense them. So, we will practice another example using rule number 3. Comparative to positive using than. Okay? Suppose she is more beautiful. More beautiful than Mo. She is more beautiful than Mo. So here only than is used after comparative form. Okay, so what we will do now, we will use second subject first. We will use second subject at first. So who is second subject? Mo. Mo. Okay, then you will use the verb is not. Then you should use not. Okay, you should use not. Mo is not, so you should use so after the verb. Beautiful as she. First subject you should use first subject at the end. Okay, in this way, if the sentence is in affirmative sentence, you should use negative form. If the sentence is in negative form, you should use affirmative form. These are the rules to sense positive, comparative and superlative degrees. So my dear students, you should be careful about your study. I think that we have finished transformation of sentences, and if there is any problem, there is any shortage, you should try to connect with me over phone or messenger. I will try to solve your problem, inshallah. So thank you everybody. We'll meet in the next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.